Good morning, physics students. In this video, I will talk about gravitational forces and how it's proportional to the distance and the mass. First, we need to know what is a gravitational force. A gravitational force is a force of attraction between two masses. Two masses. It must be between two masses. If it's not between two masses, it will then be a gravitational field. So now we know that the gravitational force is attraction between two masses. For example, if you have object 1 and you have object 2, according to Newton's law of gravitation, both objects will attract an opposite but equal force, and this force is the gravitational force. So the Earth attracts us by its gravitational force, and we also attract each other by the gravitational force, but the attraction between us is very small. So now we will move on to the second topic, which is how gravitational force can change with the mass. So suppose if I have this object, if its mass is big, so I will draw it here. But this object, the mass will remain the same. So now here, the gravitational force, let's say for example, this is 100 Newton, for example. Because I increase the mass, the gravitational force will now increase even more. So now let's say I increase the mass twice. So here this is 1 kilogram. For example, this is 2 kilogram. So now the mass, because the mass doubled, the force will also double. So it will be 200 newtons. So this is how it works with the mass. As mass increases, the gravitational force also increases. And it's exactly proportional. If I increase the mass 3 times, it will increase 3 times. If I increase 5 times, the force will increase 5 times. So this is for the mass of the objects. Now we will talk about the distance. So for the distance, it's opposite. It's inversely proportional. The mass was directly proportional. The distance is inversely. For example, if I have this object and an object, here it was closer, but here it will be farther, here for example. So now the distance will, because it increased, the gravitational force will decrease. And always it will decrease by 1 over 4, it will decrease 4 times. So here the gravitational force was 100 newtons, so here it will decrease 100 over 4, it's gonna be 25. So here it will be 25 newtons. So it will decrease by 1 over 4. But if I decrease the distance, then the force will increase by 4. So that's the relationship. And the final thing I want to explain are the graphs for the mass and for the distance. So for the mass, it's linear. As mass increases, the force will increase exactly the same amount of the mass. But for the distance, as distance increases, the force of gravity will decrease. And this graph, it's called inverse. This is an inverse graph. So to sum it up, gravitational force is a force of attraction between two masses, such as the Earth and a person. The force can depend on two main things: the mass and the distance. as mass increases, the force will increase directly. But as distance increases, the force will decrease in this way, in a curved way. This is called inverse. Thank you so much for watching.